There are very, very few instances across the world where we actually have over 100 individuals from one location, which provide a pretty powerful insight into the variation in humanity. So to have a series of so many ancient individuals preserved in one location in Australia provides such a powerful voice for understanding what happened during the ice ages in Australia, but also for all humanity. When I first studied these fossils as a PhD student 20 years ago now, none of those techniques really existed. I mean, it was science fiction. And so in another 10, 20, 50 years' time, the methods that will be available to understand even heavily fragmented remains, which many of these individuals are, will provide new insights into the complexity of the Aboriginal past, but also the past of all modern humans. It's not really just scientists sort of saying, hey, this is really important. Many of the older elders in the Willandra, they were engaged in a process, and Aboriginal archaeologists actually ran the process, putting together a concept plan for their keeping place and coming up with a management plan. There was training activities for young Aboriginal people and collection management. I mean, it's quite extraordinary because really this is the first time in Australia where Aboriginal people have also stood up and said, look, this isn't exactly what we want. It was very clear that the international community saw that these ancestral remains were deeply significant, but it was also very clear that people wanted the traditional owners to be in control of how that research is managed. And in the original plan of management of the World Heritage Area, a priority was the development of the keeping place. So it's sad that there are members of the current AAG, and not all the members, who actually want to see them just reburied and destroyed. And I think really the focus should be preserving the record that's in situ, still in the landscape, rather than this, what I think is a really political decision. And I do understand that a lot of Aboriginal people are angry that their ancestors were taken in the past. And for years, I worked in repatriation at the National Museum, working on returning ancestors and return people back to the Barkindji and the Muddy, the same people, because I knew that they were taken under the wrong circumstances. This situation is very different. These aren't people in the past stealing Aboriginal ancestors from more recent burials to use to support a racial science agenda, which is what happened prior to the Second World War. These are ancestral remains that emerged as a result of sheep grazing, destabilising the landscape. And certainly Mungo Man and Mungo Lady, they changed the way Australians think about ancient Australia. And there are another 100 stories that we barely know that are on the verge of being destroyed.